Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bitch Sesh, the Real Housewives Breakdown Show.
I'm Casey Wilson.
I'm Danielle Schneider.
How are you, Danielle?
I'm good. Casey, how are you?
As always, I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow.
I know.
That's not the as always part.
Wait, what? You're always going to Hawaii?
No, I'm never going to Hawaii. I'm so excited. But I had, like your last minute things you cram in the day before. I had like running my son all around, tons of errands, trying to get some work done. Quick play date, quick root canal, in which I went under with anesthesia. Quick spray tan.
The spray tan, I understand. The quick root canal is never like a day before trip thing for me in my book.
I have weak teeth, I've been told. There's something wrong with my teeth, and I want everyone to know. Brushing them a ton, flossing them, getting them deep cleaned 4 times a year. But when I got pregnant, my teeth went haywire. And this is the second root canal I've had to have on this tooth. And the first one was so traumatic because I was pregnant and I was like shaking and crying, and they can't really give you the real stuff that I require and need. And the dentist also said to me, basically, I don't think I can treat you awake again for either of us.
Didn't you say that they said we refuse to treat you awake?
Yes, that was a different dentist who said simply, you must be sedated heavily, because it's a very long story. I'm not going to take you through this, but I've had a history with anesthesia in terms of dental work. This has happened probably 5 times. I'm wondering if I'm okay, just in the larger sense. But one time I went under... before I was dating my husband, but we were like just seeing each other. I'm under anesthesia. I hear the anesthesiologist and the dentist talking about me.
And what?
Well, I'm awake, but I'm like trying to struggle to get my eyes open, but I'm under.
Yes, yeah.
And they said she must be a party girl because she needs so much anesthesia. I was, when I tell you I've never been so devastated, even though I was feeling every emotion, which is like, I wanted to say like, that's not true. I wanted to say so much.
Is that what made you leave the dentist?
That made me leave my first guy.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But then when I woke up, I confronted them. And then I tried to hold my hand out for the nurse to hold it, because that was the only thing I could think of to do, is to just like put my hand out when they were talking about me. Yeah. She goes, she wants me to hold her hand. I was like,
the coldest.
Guys, I have seen the other side, and there is no humanity. And I feel I knew that in that moment. So when I woke up, I confronted the dentist. I said, you said a party girl. You said I was party girl. He goes, what? I go, you said I was a party girl. Then proceeded to like anesthesia dial my husband, everyone I know hysterically sobbing. They couldn't even make out words I was saying on the drive home.
Oh, Casey, this is a really dark moment.
Well, that was a while ago. So now here I am going for it again. They put me, the guy's like, you're going to be great. You're going to be great. Oh, second to last time this happened. Oh, no. The anesthesiologist that was talking about me right before he put me under, they kind of chat with you. Yeah. The last thing I heard was he goes, I've treated a ton of Real Housewives. And I was like, no!
They're all nightmares, and yet you still got the brunt of his.
I was the party girl? I'm not a party girl.
I don't think of you as a party girl, but that's just rude. Don't they know that people are listening?
How rude.
How rude.
Yeah, so on this time today, I went under, and he's like, you're just going to chat. He was telling me a lot about Michael Jackson and what happened with like him.
Because that's what he was on.
Yeah, Michael Jackson was an insomniac and being put under, which I knew, but I didn't. It didn't drop it in until I was.
As a bad sleeper, like, I get why he did that. Like, I get the need to be knocked out unconscious, basically. Like, wow. Yeah, like if it was available to me and would not kill me, I would.
Dr. Conrad.
Dr. Conrad. Isn't he in jail?
I don't know. He might be around.
Did he die?
I don't know. That's one for us to look up.
Yeah, that's
Dr. Conrad's whereabouts.
Is he in jail? Is he dead? Is he treating? Can I get his number? These are all questions. But no, Casey, you went under. Went under,
came up but I was so out of it. I was staggering. And April picked me up because my husband was watching our son. And poor April. It was so sad to be like, my assistant's in the waiting room. It's like I felt like Bethany talking to Kevin. And so April was leading me out, and I did make an impromptu voice memo reviewing Orange County.
Now, what spurred you at that moment?
April shaking her head. She has no idea. I literally woke up and was nastily saying to April, like, you drive crazy. And then at one point I made a video where I turned to April and I go, guess what? No matter what, still know where the camera is. Yeah, an angry video.
What?
And I was still apologizing to April as I was going. I'm like, sorry, I don't mean to hurt your feelings that I said about your driving. And she's like, you're neither hurting my feelings nor you're just like being
nor making
crazy.
Any sense.
Yeah. I just had some thoughts I wanted to get about Orange County. This
Under-
is not 9 minutes after I've woken up from anesthesia.
Okay.
From a root canal.
Let's
hear
this.
Okay.
Hello, Bitch Sesh listeners. I sound like Landon because I just had anesthesia for my root canal where I went under because I'm a scared patient. So I have Novocaine in my mouth, but I'm also quite out of it. But I took this time to discuss Vicky. I mean Orange County. I call Orange County Vicky. I don't like Terry. I think he's gross. And then the Turk and Caicos, when he did his testimonial and he said he didn't feel guilty, wasn't with his family. I think it's weird. I didn't like when the guy was in the white gloves on the beach serving them. I thought that's gross. And some people say Shannon's gained some weight, but I think it's because she's happy and I'm happy for her. And I don't remember other parts, but I do remember it's a boring episode. And the anesthesiologist said I was the model patient, but I didn't do anything. I was asleep. Maybe that's what he meant, because I couldn't say anything or be scared for my root canal. So tired, but still looking forward to the Bitch Just podcast tonight. And I can't remember, but I think Tamara's son is odd. Unfortunately, he's not in a good spot. Still attracted to David Bador. And even in this state where I barely know where I'm driving, I remember the name David Bador. And that's it. I went to sleep, I dreamt of my son, and I woke up. And to me, that's a great experience. I'm not having to physically babysit. I'm still with him. Ideal. Good night, everyone. I mean, goodbye. I'll see you tonight. And what was Catherine wearing in Southern Charm? Good night. And good luck, as George Clooney would say, based on a newsman.
Oh, my God. Oh, Casey. That was the best. That monologue will be done by kids in drama schools for the rest of their lives. That was
good night
a beautiful...
and good luck, as George Clooney would say.
As a play, my favorite line was, it's great. It was a nice experience being with my kid, but not having to be with him.
I know, and I didn't. You know what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
Just it's being with
as
them is
a
very
mother-
tiring, even though you love it so much.
As a mother, you said everything I've ever felt.
Yeah.
Because I love
and
my
I couldn't
child.
love being with him more.
Oh, no. As a mother, I get that. That's why it was my
because
favorite.
I had such vivid, beautiful dreams of us playing the whole time. So I was like, this was a dream.
Yeah, and they act all well.
And when I say I'm driving, April is driving.
Yes. And also the fact that you knew David Bador's name and then you had enough wherewithal to know that that's strange.
I was still very judgmental.
Oh, yes. And then you're
having
like,
just come out of
Tamara's
anesthesia.
Tamara's son is weird. And we'll get into that because
we sure will.
Tough.
So that's where I'm at, Danielle. And you?
I'm in a good place. I'm in a better place now hearing that because that was, again, a monologue that I want generations of people to hear because it had...
I'm sure it'll be in one of those, if anyone's ever acted for like 2 seconds in their life, they have these horrible books.
Yeah.
It's not playwrights. It's like monologues they haven't heard. It's like, no, I sure haven't heard those.
No.
And the names are like Lisa, Karen, Kristen, and that'll be Casey.
I loved it. I loved every minute. Ups and downs. I went on the journey with you. And you said some truths about these people and you said them concisely because you didn't have the words to meander.
I didn't.
No. And so I loved that. I loved every minute. That's the hardest I've laughed in a long time. I will say I had a good piece of news this week. Really important piece of news. My husband, as everybody knows, has come on the podcast and has come out against the housewives. He hates
Came out swinging.
Swinging. He's been on and everyone had opinions on that. And he hates them. He thinks it's bad for America. It's bad for me. I watched Southern Charm. He walked in and he said to me, I like Southern Charm.
Wow. And now I want to explain to all of our listeners, Danielle's husband, I'm sure you know, but Matt Besser created the Upright Citizens Brigade. He's a visionary. He knows quality. I will say he's basically like,
he's hard to please.
And he has the power to put up like funny people and give them their break as he's done for hundreds of people. And I believe he knows quality when he sees it.
He does. And he saw what we see in Southern Charm, which is, he said, I believe them. I believe that this is real.
The highest compliment anyone could pay.
Because the Real Housewives, I guess, to him don't feel real.
Despite the title.
Yes, exactly. It's in there. And even though I am shocked every time I hear that something's not real, when someone's like, oh, they're not really friends, I'm like, what? Like, I am shocked when you tell me anything.
Like, what do you mean they wouldn't be racing these ATVs on the beach right now?
They're not naturally just having a pizza party? Like, that seems like making pizzas.
And baking cutlery in a calzone? What?
Yeah, that seems like that would be a natural instinct. Like, I'm shocked every one time. But the fact that he said Southern Charm feels real and we think Southern Charm is real, to me says that that is a high quality television production.
Coming from him, it gives me license to watch it.
Yes.
And that's actually going to segue me into our guest, because she said something tonight about the banana bread she baked, which she's going to clarify this for me, but she baked for us Bethany's banana bread recipe. That was so good. I was eating a ton of it.
I've had 3 portions.
And I said to our guest at one point, I said, oh, I can't believe I really want more. And she's like, it's good for you. And much like Matt Besser enjoying Southern Charm, I proceeded to walk right back in and get more banana bread. Please welcome writer. She's absolutely hilariously funny, housewife super fan, writer on The Middle, writer on Galavant. And just an all-around hilariously funny person.
Friend for many years.
Yes.
We've known her for many years.
Please welcome Robin Shorr.
You guys.
Hey, girl.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having
That
me.
banana bread you break.
What? Danielle. Uh-oh, Dr. Conrad has been here.
Dr.
Danielle has an IV in his...
I sometimes have like sympathetic reactions
Yes.
to things where if like someone speaks in a British accent, I will too. And maybe just hearing that, I'm like, I'm high.
It got under
like,
your
hearing-
skin.
Like
Got
it got
under
under my
your
skin, and now I'm like, I'm high. So, guys, and having feelings about Landon, but yes, that banana bread you baked was
Can you tell us about it?
perfection.
I will. You know, when my sister for Hanukkah one year.
Wow, that was
Back off the mic.
for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know we told you to get on the mic, but maybe
Back off.
Give us some space.
She gave me the book, and she gave me the book Naturally Thin for Hanukkah one year. See, I backed it off.
Yeah.
And it was a book about like, if you really, the crux of Naturally Thin by Bethany Frankel is like, if you don't know your way around a kitchen, and I was just starting to live on my own and whatever, it's like, here's some simple tips. And I noticed in the back of the book, there was a recipe called Boo Boo's banana bread. And I had to go to...
now explain. We all had to like get our way to Boo Boo.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a journey, but Cookie is the name of
as we all know,
Bethany's
as
dog.
we all know.
And she calls Cookie de Boo Boo. So that
Oh, I didn't know there was a duh before the boo boo.
Like
Boo Boo.
Luanne de la Sauce. Same thing. Same region of France.
That's what because I thought it
And
was Cookie
Tom-
Boo Boo.
You know what? You just reminded me. Tom DeAugustino is Luanne's fiance. So she's going to go from duh to duh.
D'Agostino, Lesseps D'Agostino.
Wow.
She go duh.
She should just be called Duh.
Duh. Luanne.
So
duh.
I just started, I don't know, it was like 6 or 7 years ago. I just started making the banana bread wherever I went. And I felt
De Boo Boos?
the boo-boos,
De Boo
the
Boos.
banana bread.
The banana.
And there was no perfect like nexus, perfect place to bring this bread than here tonight.
I love that you're just bringing it out to non-housewives related events.
All the time.
It's
and people
so
say,
good.
whose is it? And I always give credit where credit is due. It's Cookie de Boo Boo. Cookie made the
So
recipe.
now is that why now it's coming together for me? You made the comment, it's good for you.
Right, because
Now what are we
there's
talking?
3 bananas in it, mashed.
Okay.
Okay.
And generally, I've discovered if you have ripened bananas in your house, you can just throw them in and
Do they
make
have
a
to be
banana
brown, like past
Because
rice?
it's all
soft.
easy. We remember that. It's all easy.
It's all easy to be naturally thin, guys.
Yes.
I'm honestly might get naturally thin.
It's a one. I should be clear. My sister gave it to me for Hanukkah because I asked for it.
Wasn't it?
It wasn't like, hey.
Hey, I think you need
She
this.
didn't stumble upon it.
No, I I did Jenny Craig for like 7 years after my first staff job because I would eat gobs of cake when I couldn't think of jokes.
I need to say you are naturally thin to my eye.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very nice, but it takes a lot of work behind the scenes.
Takes a village.
It takes a village.
As we've all found out about ourselves.
Something happens. Things change. You see things in places you didn't.
You look amazing.
Thank you. You guys, thank you. But I will say this is always a hit wherever I bring it.
It is, and it should be. Go home, guys. It's the best thing I've ever eaten ever.
No, I'm not.
Go
we're
home
not
and make
lying.
this.
I mean, we
I
brought you Whispering
swear.
Angel. Now we're bringing you Dabubu.
Yes. Whispering Angel. Why not have some Whispering Angel with your
It has chocolate chips in it, which I wasn't expecting.
It's an unexpected surprise, and it's only a half a cup of chocolate chips, and it feels like so much more. And it's really fun to make. You literally
felt like I got a lot of chip.
You throw it all in the bowl, and you cook it for 30 minutes, and it's
That's
done.
it? That's
it's
just
done. It's
so
like
easy.
One bowl cooking. Does
Guys.
Gwyneth even know about this?
Gwyneth is like 20 beakers and 30 ball jars and
and a hydration station.
and a fishmonger. I mean,
Yes.
her fishmonger
I know.
can't touch this banana bread.
If they are at my local, say, Publix, are they still a fishmonger? A question for everybody. Like, is that if they're at my
about
Kroger, is that still considered a fishmonger, or is that just
think
the
so.
deli
Kroger-based.
counter
they're
guy?
taking the pride and work.
Just curious. One of those things.
Does he call himself a fishmonger? Is the question. But
We have so much to discuss.
We have a lot to
I mean,
cover.
there's so much. Whoa. First, Luanne.
Now, the Luanne before they were housewives special is a real treat. If you haven't seen it yet, I don't know where you can catch it. I don't know if it's in
I'll tell you where
reruns.
I caught it. I caught it on a JetBlue flight.
That's the
and
perfect
it was
place
a
to
gift
watch it.
from the heavens.
The heavens.
The heavens.
Because
saying
when you
you're
were-
going to be okay.
Yeah,
This
'cause
is
when-
going to go okay.
That's how I did Below Deck.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And so you were
It's
watching
like-
commercials, Robin.
I was, but
Did
it
you see
didn't
April?
matter. I
don't
did.
even-
I will say now that I'm seeing April in this light, her face does look incredibly familiar to me.
As we turned to April, she was licking banana bread off her fingers. And
Licking that
April,
boo-boo.
by the way, naturally thin.
naturally thin,
You know
eating
what
the banana
April
bread.
had the fucking nerve to tell me yesterday. I said to her, I was like, oh, I'm losing weight, and I got on the scale, and it hadn't really moved, but I had my period this week, so I'm kind of like going through this whole monologue, and she's just like, oh, shut the fuck up. I'm sure, having been an assistant for 3 years, I am like, she probably hates me, but she said, I don't weigh myself because I just feel like weight is a number, and anyone who gets on, you could be one thing and I could be another, and it really just impacts your self-esteem to weigh yourself. I looked at her. She's such a healthy attitude about everything in life. She's from Colorado.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
everything.
They-
Just healthy, vegetarian, just
Yeah.
easy breezy.
Is she just like catching the fish from the stream, the Colorado Rocky stream, then putting it in her mouth?
And she's always looking cute. It's so
No, she wore
annoying.
a pair of overall shorts that I'll never wear shorts again because I'll never look like that. Like, that's amazing.
Can I say in reference to Colorado, I went to a wedding there recently, and there was a man who arrived at the wedding in a loincloth via canoe to this wedding that was on a commune. And I said to him jokingly said, did you canoeber here?
Good.
It was
Good
bad.
joke.
You guys, it was
You don't
bad.
have to
It's
eat cake
terrible.
when you tell that joke. That's a good one. Solid.
He looked at me. He brought his own wood. Is this something that he brought his own silverware and
What?
plate to the wedding as to not be wasteful?
See, that's
Those
the problem with
Coloradians.
Colorado because I love Colorado and they churn out gorgeous specimens
I
like
mean,
April, but then
Purple Mountain
you
Majesty
gotta have
over
the
here.
canoe guy with his own silverware, and it's like, all right, I'm going back to LA.
And then the look I got after I made a terrible joke.
Oh, I'm so shocked he didn't have a sense of humor.
I don't think he knew.
Shocked, Robin.
He didn't know.
Was he cute?
I mean, listen, in desperate times,
They call
we
for
were
desperate
on, we were
measures.
on a
So
commune.
you
He'll
had
bring
sex
his own
So did you have
condom.
sex in the canoe? Is my question to you.
I would have
If
had
the
I been invited.
canoe comes,
I think I
goes a
immediately-
rockin'.
There was a spa inside of a hole. We can get to that later. And then there were people we were at a commune, so people were having sex everywhere during the wedding.
But I love how you're acting like it was so weird. He brought a canoe to a commune. It's like, back up.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
the
expecting, though?
oldest hippie commune in Colorado. We don't need to get into it.
But
We have
people
so
are
much
having
to
sex
cover.
where?
My friend went to go take her wedding pictures, and they hiked up to the mines, I guess, that were above this commune. And the whole family and the photographer are going up to the mines, and they ran into two cousins on opposite sides of the forest. Two cousins, not related, having sex with their respective spouses, which honestly, if I had been there with a significant other, that's the place to do it.
Yeah.
During
And
photos, so we're not even like deep into the wedding. It's like cocktail hour.
yeah,
I know. It's like, wait
Yeah.
till you're a little sloppy drunk. But I guess, it's so beautiful.
I will enjoy a move of like we're at a wedding outside,
Yeah,
like in
sure.
Ojai, and we're
Speaking as someone who has had sex outdoors on a hike.
it's lovely.
I'm sure Danielle's had sex everywhere on God's green earth.
If there's anyone listening that would like to have
I'm
sex
surprised
with me
Danielle's not having
outside,
sex right now.
Guys, I have a lot of sex.
You do. You're a very active woman.
is this a way for me to have more sex? Is to announce I'll have sex outside.
That's great.
In an Ojai type setting.
Robin, just so you know, all our listeners are definitely straight men.
Yes. Sports enthusiasts.
Guys, this Luanne show, I didn't see
Yes.
it, so please speak freely.
Okay, I
Now-
have so many notes.
I just have a few, and I think it's short so we can get through it.
sure.
But I feel like some big news that was dropped was Luanne had a friend named Honeychild. That to me was like a huge and like saying it as if like there was never like I know this is a strange name. It was like and Honeychild and not
Yes.
even flinching to
No.
me. And turns out Honeychild was bad news because Honeychild, the minute Luanne wasn't a single gal anymore, Honeychild kind of was like she told the count not to marry Luanne. Like so she kind
Did
of like,
Honeychild appear?
no.
Ever?
No.
Honeychild
no.
is such a southern. I love it.
She was like an older,
Yeah.
like society woman that sort of like flitted around Europe. And
It's like in the South when men are called Big Daddy.
Yes.
Like Kim Zolciak had a big daddy.
Yes, it was. It was a strange older woman that sort of took her under her wing. And then it felt very like All About Eve or something like
Yes.
that. Where like then when Luanne started to kind of like come up, Honeychild was like, no, bitch. Like you remain in your place. Like
Stay
we're
in your
gonna be
place.
singles together. So like we're going to sort of.
I'm sorry to ask questions. So the other housewives participated?
No,
it
not
was
a
just
nun.
it was like a single. The camera was just like locked off on Luanne doing a testimony in what looked to me like. Do you remember the gold? It was like gold. It was like she was wearing Asa's like sort of
Asa's caftans
Yes.
from
and of
Southern
course, a very
Shaw's.
heavy necklace.
statement necklace.
Heavy necklace. Like as if, like, it looks so heavy. Like it gave me anxiety.
And then she talked about, this is one of my favorite things. She talked about how she was going into a beauty pageant or something. And she went out and she got like this red dress for this beauty pageant. And she said, that was the dress that was going to change my life. And then this is during a testimonial. And then there's a pause and she sort of looks off and goes, now you have your sound bite.
That was the soundbite.
Yeah, it was
She
like-
said, now you have your sound bite. And I was like, wow.
she is a woman who thinks a lot of herself.
Yes.
It turns out she was a host on Italian television for quite a while.
Yes.
Like a in Europe they have kind of like game show / talk shows /
Yes.
sketch comedy variety news show. Like it's always like seven
It's a
things in
kitchen
one. In
sink.
Europe it is. It's just like whatever. And it's all presented by like an old man and a hot lady. Like
Yes.
it's real strange like that. That's
And
kind of.
who is the lady?
I'm going to say
kidding.
Luanne.
But there's a crucial step. I just want to mention this. There was a crucial step between the Italian variety show. The crucial step was that she impersonated Sharon Stone. And
Yes.
on some awards show. Do you remember that she came out wearing a
Yes.
wig, pretending
Looking
she was
nothing like
looking
Sharon
nothing like
Stone.
Sharon Stone? Salutes Arnold Schwarzenegger in the audience. Arnold Schwarzenegger looks at the camera and goes, "I don't know who that is." And then this old man comes up to her after the Sharon Stone thing and says, "If only I was 30 years." Younger, and she goes, it doesn't matter. And then the next thing they show is Luanne hosting this Milan talk show.
Yeah.
So it seems like she sort of maybe
And you pointed out, Robin, how is she pronouncing?
she pronounces the city Mulan.
Which is a Disney cartoon. Mulan. Her pronunciations, she has made up an alphabet that nobody else adheres to.
She said, I believe instead of saying chalet, she said chalet, which really bothers me.
Does she come from humble beginnings, or
Yes,
she
okay?
comes from, like-
Then I think she's kind of appropriating a dialect that she believes to be this upper crust kind of like Kennedy-esque or like I don't know what. This
it's-
high
you're right.
society
Real
voice.
strange. Real strange.
And she says, I'm sorry, like Alex Trebek.
Yeah, like she's fucking Canadian or something. It's the strangest accent I've ever heard.
I don't know if you felt this I don't know if you felt this way, Danielle, but I feel like she's a little bit like the Gene Simmons of Housewives. Like she has had a lot of sex. Probably in the woods at weddings.
In the last year alone.
Yes. But I just like the numbers that run through my head. I think it's wonderful.
She admits
I think
to
she's
getting
empowered.
crabs. Like she says proudly that I've gotten crabs.
Yeah. Back in those days, we got crabs.
Yeah, like as if it were the 60s and everyone got naked on a commune. You know what I mean? It was like, we all got crabs. It was like, they were like
Switzerland.
around Europe just getting crabs and, climbing the Alps. It was just like so strange. And then what I think happened is that her niece, June Diane's beloved niece of Luanne, got her sort of introduced to the housewives.
And here we have it. This is why Luanne is so defensive of that damn niece.
Yes.
I'm not sure, and I couldn't. Again, I was like watching it late at night, and my husband was like, "What are you watching again?" And, like,
Wait, so he didn't think that was real?
No, he was like, "Who is this man?" And I'm like, "It's not a man." So
And on the TV, she's like,
She does laugh like that.
yes, and she's like, "Guys, I know it's hard to believe I'm normal," and it's like, "No, I fucking believe you're very normal, Luanne. I have no trouble believing that you are down in the dirt with the rest of us. Like I have no illusions about you
splashing around in this broken dream puddle with us.
I know. I was just like, Luanne, but her vision of herself is so altered. And I think she thinks she came off likable, and I disliked her more after this thing. Fascinating, but dislikable.
I found it very off-putting. They showed home videos of Luanne with the Count, who hasn't been on in our eyes for a while. In our eyes. That's my new phrase, you guys. And I found disjointed for me, or what's the word? I don't know.
Disconcerting?
Disconcerting. Thank you so much. Haven't even had any wine. I found it disconcerting to see Luanne in a normal home with like cabinets from possibly Home Depot, and she's just so in love with the Count, and it's just videos of her falling in love with the Count, and Luanne's brother is like, oh, they slept in our shitty bedroom. It was so great. He's a Count.
Well, I love, she's like, well, then I got into TV, and I was like this society person. I had been on Italian television, and so then I started doing just, like people want to know what's going on in the upper crusty world, so I started doing these news pieces, and then you see her cut to a news piece, and she's like, I'm here outside TJ Maxx. What? Is that what the upper crust is? Like
far-flung locale.
She was like, they want to see what's going on in the world, and it literally like cuts to her there, and I was like, what? What are you smoking?
Something
Luanne?
so deep happened when she married a Count. She had a like schism where she thought, I'm finally something now. I'm never turning back, and she went so far in that direction. So she swung so far. That's when we met her. Then she swung back to herself after the Count left, and now we're like scrambling to catch up with this new trucker version of her.
It's an amalgamation of politeness and deep voices and mispronounced words. And tonight she said Carol Radziwill.
Oh yeah, she has butchered that name.
She has a lot of trouble with Carol's name.
But so like if you haven't seen it, it's worth a look. You'll find out new information, but it won't make you like her anymore.
I do hope they do more of these exposés.
Yes, I would like to see one on.
I'd like to call for one on Phaedra.
Oh,
Phaedra Parks.
Yes,
I want to go back all the way with Phaedra. I love her so much. I want to see home videos. I want to see it all.
I agree.
Me too.
She's someone I'd like to deep dive on.
Yeah. Luanne seems a random pick. Like they just put the names in a hat and
it is. I agree with you.
Pulled one out.
And then like Bethany's like, no, I don't want to do it.
No.
And so they were like, okay, we'll choose again.
Yeah. Here we go.
And then they like did 5 or 6 of them, and finally Luanne's like, put her name in 7 times into the hat, and finally got picked out.
You'd think Luanne would be the one with all the vagina problems, but she was the only one who was free to do it. Everyone else is dealing with their vaginas and calling them, as you said, different names.
Yeah.
Should we segue to New York? I mean, we're here.
Yes, we should. And then,
And then we'll do OC.
Then we'll do OC.
Should we take a quick break?
Let's take a quick break for a little commercial.
And we're back.
I'm sorry about the way I pronounced commercial, guys. I regret it and resent it. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
And I am on 0 drugs.
No one's on any drugs.
No.
I'm actually not even.
Yeah,
I am on Advil.
Coming off of a very traumatic
Not that dramatic.
It is. It's a trauma to your face.
As I was going under, because we all know I'm obsessed with the song not we all know, maybe someone heard this. I love this song Only One by Kanye song that he wrote for his daughter from his mother who passed. And as I was literally going out, I said to the anesthesiologist, I was like, what happened to Kanye's mom?
That was what you left them with?
I wanted to know.
Is that the song that they shot with the video they shot with the iPhone of Kanye and North just walking in a field? Okay. Just
and it's auto-tuned. Yeah, it's the most beautiful song ever. If you want to cry, it's very beautiful.
Okay.
I really love it, actually. Guys, New York.
Another
Robin,
filler.
Hell of a town.
Robin has so many theories and thoughts. Just get into them.
I feel like, here's what I feel like, and I don't think we saw a big example of it in this particular episode. We've seen it before, I feel like, leading up to it. Like, you know how on Sex and the City, they'd always say that New York City was the fifth lady. They'd always say that in like articles about it.
It was another character on the show.
Another character on the show, exactly. I feel like the sixth housewife, the sixth lady on Real Housewives of New York might be cocaine.
Wow.
I feel like it is fueled
all of them.
by cocaine.
I mean, yes, Luanne last week, that was a cocaine fit like I have never seen.
Right.
That was just her.
You can't see I'm smiling because one side of my mouth is still numb, so it's just one half is
it
smiling.
looks like you're having a stroke, but you're actually smiling.
But I'm smiling.
I think it's unfair to be like, I think everyone's on coke. I'm just saying, as an observer and as someone who doesn't necessarily sniff out coke that much. Like, I don't know.
You're like Jules when she kept saying, she kept saying the word
like,
on.
Yeah, like she's insulting on me or something.
Right.
Like
she's insulting on my dignity.
Integrity.
Yeah,
my integrity.
On my integrity.
And you're sniffing up
your cocaine.
Just wrong. I'm just saying, if I'm able to recognize that kind of behavior, it's a problem. And I feel like there might be.
And you're specifically feeling it's Luanne.
I feel it.
Dorinda?
I feel like Luanne. I feel like Dorinda gets a little lit up at parties.
And you don't think that's just alcohol. I'm so naive. I'm like, but it's only what we see.
I just thought it was booze. Is that the reason why she is showing up in a lot of casual teas?
Yes, possibly.
Like she can't get it together. She's just like rushing through her.
And she's always like, look what I found. And it's a spiritual gangster tank top. It's like, that's a known brand.
Drives me crazier than the spiritual
and
gangster line.
If you're wearing anything with a spiritual gangster, burn it like Angela Bassett did outside of the house after waiting to exhale.
What about that shirt that she wore with like the spotted dog? Was it like Big Dog brand or something?
Yeah, or a Life is Good. We don't know.
That was like if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, like Martha's Vineyard Big Dog.
Yeah, like it was, I was like, everyone else, like I understand it's a casual night out, but fucking pick it up.
Dorinda was really on the spectrum tonight of like casual teas and then really fancy.
That
that
silver shining mock turtleneck with legs, pantyhose on the arms.
I believe April asked, is she wearing pantyhose on her arms?
Yes, with that costume jewelry. It was like
and that was leading up. That was sort of the grand finale because in the scene before with Jules, she had this incredible cape jacket on.
That cape was beautiful.
And then before that,
Danielle, I gotta stop you. It was the most hideous thing I've ever seen. It was like a crayon box spilled out, ombre style, with her arms like poking through.
Do you not like the cape, or did you not like her in the cape?
Every single part of it.
If I showed up in that, I loved it too.
I loved it too. And I feel like I would wear every single thing you wear.
God bless, but like the case, I feel like you guys, your judgment is clouded because she's showing up in such crazy testimonial outfits that you're actually seeing it in the vacuum of like, oh, that was okay.
No, I actually thought that cape was very Carol.
Oh, interesting.
Danielle,
not her color palette though.
Go
not
back.
Carol's color palette.
Not her color palette, but which.
Carol's in like a olive bomber jacket.
Every once in a while, she has on like she takes a big swing and will wear like a cape-esque thing.
When she had those like pantyhose sleeves, she's looking like Elaine Stritch.
Yeah,
or like
I agree. Yes. I agree.
Liza Minnelli, a little Liza
very
Minnelli.
Liza at Carnegie Hall or Cabaret Liza.
It was a reach, and it was a swing and a miss.
It felt like John had found 2 different items at the dry cleaning store, like a fancy dress, but it had like rips in the arms or something, and then like a gorgeous pair of pantyhose. And then he was like, "I got it.
A nice pair of Wolfords.
I saw something gorgeous,
and
then he put it together. Like he was like, "I got you, babe." Like, and maybe it was in a cocaine fueled like stupor where he was like, "I got this," and they're there like running the sewing machine. It's like
no, is John running the sewing machine?
Yeah, John's running. It's like in Pretty in Pink when they're like putting all those things together. It's like, I'm not going to the prom. She's like, I'm not going to the pizza party.
I'm not going to Luanne's pizza party.
Luanne's pizza party. I can't handle these girls. I try to make it nice. And John's like, I got you, babe. And he's like on cocaine and he's like sewing it together. And she's like, I'm putting it on. I look gorgeous.
She's like, John, you're sweating so much the sewer can't sew.
We need to get eyes in that cleaning shop. We do. And I feel maybe what happened is that Dorinda went to drop off Sonia Morgan's drapes that they found in the basement, and they started making the look for the Luanne party. And
Sonia, those drapes was making me feel it's very Maria Von Trapp, kind of just pulling curtains. It's like she's living in such a weird.
They call they say the thing on drapes that pulls the drape back. They call those queens something. Queens.
I thought
Queens ribbons.
You were so confident. I thought you had the second
You
word.
trailed off at the end. You're like,
Yes.
Queens thingamajiggy.
And they call it queens.
I've lost language, and it's fine. We
Guys,
all have.
some of the listeners might say that the 3 of us sound like we're on coke.
And they'd
fine.
be right. No, they'd be
right.
very wrong.
Coca-Cola.
No, we're on
7-Up.
banana bread. That fucking
we are on
boo-boo
banana bread.
banana
and I will
bread.
say this just as a quick amendment to the recipe. Bethany, I love you. At Bethany, I love you. But you don't need a cup of brown sugar and raw sugar in it. It's just 3/4 of a cup is just fine.
Ooh,
I feel like
love
the
how you're
sweetness
experimenting.
I
the
know.
sweetness comes from the bananas.
You're such a confident chef. You're
only thing I've ever made.
I stayed true to a recipe because I am a frightened chef at best.
I feel Gwyneth Paltrow in my kitchen with me often.
That's the name of my cookbook, The Frightened Chef. That'll be out in 2017. Scribner's, everybody.
Mine's going to be
I would honestly buy that.
Mine's going to be called, my memoirs are going to be called The Frightened Emailer.
I'm going to stop you right there. Did you say memoirs?
Who are you, Luanne?
God, I'm going to admit something, but this does tie into Dorinda. I was in the Berkshires for this last week, and I was at a yoga retreat, and I actually had to get on a work phone call at the yoga retreat and really, truly had like locked in syndrome. I could not speak. I couldn't say words. I'm sorry to the listeners out there that have locked in syndrome. I don't mean to get on
Everything
your
you're
case.
saying I'm confused about.
Okay, what? Let's break. I'm sorry. What's confusing?
Locked in
Do
syndrome?
you know what it is?
No.
It's when do you see Diving Bell and Butterfly?
I want to say yes.
No,
Where
I
they-
didn't because I was
where
afraid
they-
it was very sad.
It's just your brain is totally functioning, but you can't talk about. Sorry. Let's bring it back up. So I was in the Berkshires.
Okay.
And I went
And no,
to
you're
this-
saying you felt that because you were so relaxed.
I was so relaxed that to have to get on a phone call and talk about anything other than the forest and the trees. I was.
yeah.
But my point is,
Did your canoe guy just like swim by
I was like,
and wave at you with his cutlery?
and I had like 4
He
more
had
jokes for him. and
He
was
wanted
like,
to have sex with you. He had like a condom made out of burlap or something.
Listen, that's safe. It's safe and it's beautiful. But so the first night of this retreat, they were doing astrology readings in the gift shop. So as you do on a yoga retreat, I went in and she asked me what I did for a living, and I told her, which I feel like is breaking the rules of astrology a little bit. But I said I work in television, and she said, "Oh, we had a housewife in here, and I didn't know that she was famous." And I did the math really quick in my head. I was like, "It was Dorinda Medley.
yeah, in the
You
Berkshires?
had Dorinda in here, short hair." She's like,
Maybe
"Yes."
Heather, but
Yeah,
Dorinda.
she's
I
queen
think-
of the Berkshires, Dorinda. I
Right.
feel like she
I
wears
feel like
that proudly.
Dorinda was more inclined to go to this place where it's, by the way, it's a legit yoga place. It's not, I mean, maybe it's not.
I'm sure it is. Speaking of Heather,
Yes.
Oh, she
was
made
in
an
the
appearance
episode.
tonight. I love her husband. I think he's a mensch. I think he's adorable. I know I see Casey disagreeing and Robin maybe
On the
disagreeing as
fence.
well.
it's not that I don't love him. He's just so vanilla to me.
I think he's sweet. I think he supports his wife.
He has
I think
no
he's
edge.
happy.
No edge.
But look
100%.
where Edge has gotten us.
Yes.
Jules.
I mean, I don't know that Michael's like got a leather jacket on. Like that to me
he
is
does have
edge.
a lot of product in his hair, Michael.
Yeah.
And it's too much for me.
Well, I felt like Heather was a bit ill-used.
Yeah, she wasn't used for anything except for as a foil for Carol to talk about Jules' eating disorder. Like, that's all that was. And we had already talked. It was strangely used.
Which I did find, I think Jules, I don't think it's a secret. I don't think we're being nasty to say so. There's something very serious going on with the, she's very thin. But it's just comical almost to me that Bethany and Carol are the ones, and I hate to use this pun, eaten up with her eating disorder.
It's like,
that's the only thing they're eating is her issues.
Well, it's always usually other thin people who on some level have food issues that are aware of other people's food issues. I feel like it's they're other people who don't have food issues aren't. I mean, yes, you can see that something's up with Jules, but I'm not looking to see how much she's eating.
But not only that, she said she has an issue. I mean, I don't know what. It's clearly a problem for her.
Yes.
And they're acting like, I didn't like Carol's kind of line of questioning with her at the table. Like, oh, you know Adderall. It's like, this is her business.
Yeah.
I just thought it was very rude. She's literally said that she's had a very serious problem with it.
I will say that
and I don't think these problems just go away.
I will say that Jules' attempt to kick it up a notch by putting like a metal ramekin and a calzone backfired.
Okay, I need to explain this to people who don't watch the show or have not seen it because it was so strange. Can you explain it?
Basically, the night was, I guess, boring, as was the episode.
They were making their own pizzas.
And so when Jules is like in a testimonial, I'm going to kick this up a notch. This night is boring. These ladies need to learn how to let go, was basically her vibe and what she said. And so her joke was that she was going to put her like pain drugs from her
maybe you all remember
vagina.
her vagina was cut on a windowsill last week and she's on very, very intense pain medication.
So her first joke was that she was going to put in meds.
Which I really thought was what she was going to do. And I'm like, great idea. That's fun.
That is kind of funny and sick.
And fun.
But then she didn't want to go that far. So she just put a fork and a knife and a ramekin in the...
It's the second time we've discussed ramekins.
I know. They've come up in this season
She
a lot.
baked a ramekin and cutlery inside a calzone.
And that's...
Which at a high temperature is probably not great.
But is this a bad time to tell you there's a ramekin in the banana bread? I'm so sorry, you guys, but you haven't found it yet.
Were you trying to kick it up a notch? Are you trying to keep us at our toes?
It's definitely fun.
I am having the time of my life eating this ramekin.
Who was the one that pointed out that was it Carol that she's like avoiding
eating the calzone? Yeah, that was Carol.
It's an elaborate way to avoid it. Like I can just picture Jules' head like, what do I do? Bake my cutlery and my calzone?
Yeah, that's a big
But
step.
now also, let's just say the four of us were sitting around making pizzas in lieu of going to Mexico and showing off our bathing suits and outfits.
It felt, as Casey pointed out, it felt like the producer was like, fuck, we're not going to Mexico. Scramble, pizza party.
They're like,
ice skating ring pizza party calzones.
Luanne, Christmas party. Luanne's like, it's my party. They're like, yeah, say it's yours, but Tom's not here.
Get my daughter Victoria.
Like it was.
He's my, what do you mean my niece isn't around?
Go unpack Sonia's basement. Unpack Sonia's basement.
Find two random guys we've never seen before and paint her dog orange.
Bring on Kevin.
Like it was a scramble.
It was a scrambled eggs of an episode.
Yeah, and it
A
felt
lot of
good.
flashbacks. Every single scene they were just showing us flashbacks. I'm like, can we just see that scene?
In different colors. They use a different, when the flashback colors happen, they just make sure you know this. It's like slightly black and white so you know what happened in the past.
Yeah, but like sort of nothing happened. I was like, this is as much nothing as you're showing us right now. What's the difference between this nothing and the nothing we're watching? It's just the sepia tone of it?
Where are you drawing the line?
I know. It felt like... why did we need those flashbacks?
And I thought there were some sad moments in the episode, genuinely. When Sonia was looking through her
Sonia.
stuffed animals and her nose trimmer and... you know, it was
Danielle
a real...
just spit out her Zevia 0-calorie soda.
This is another hot tip. Zevia 0-calorie, non-GMO.
Non-GMO?
Casey has grape.
I have grape. They're sodas.
I'm scared of it, so I have water.
I have caramel.
By the way, this is the equivalent of eating cutlery and a side of calzone, I'm sure.
And it's delicious.
Here's my question, though. Just that you reminded me with the cutlery. If we were sitting around making pizzas,
Yes.
Wouldn't you notice if I was shoving cutlery into a calzone?
Not if I was the most boring person that no one wanted to talk to.
And not if I was across the table from you talking about my bloody V.
So it's a real cry for attention is what it is. It's pay attention to me. I'm going to put knives and ramekins.
And like I'm fun and probably, I don't want to eat this.
There was a lot going on. I feel for Jules, as I believe
I
I
do
said
too.
last week. I think she's...
It was horribly sad when she finally was opening up to Dorinda and saying, she came home from her surgery and when her husband said, can you give the kids a bath?
After 3, and she said
Fuck that
what we
guy.
agreed. I'm gonna let you guys say it. What we agreed was maybe the saddest line, not even
I
just
wrote
in
it down.
Housewives history, but in possibly the history of mankind.
Yes.
Casey.
No, you better read it, Robin.
So this is Jules talking about coming home from the hospital, and she tells Dorinda, "I was so happy in the hospital.
I got a late checkout.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
how do you
ha-
come back from that?
Have sadder words been spoken?
Ever.
Crying and saying
I
I
was
was
happier
so happy
in the hospital.
And I feel for those children. I feel like
They're
those
so
are
cute.
really
Adorable
cute, sweet
kids.
children. And that man, her husband, is a piece of shit.
Just vet. Here's an idea, ladies who are listening. Vet the men you are having children with before you make children with them.
And by the way, now I know why it's taking so long to build this Hamptons house. He's just saying I'm going out there to oversee the indoor pool.
And no wonder, yeah.
maybe
Can't get in touch with him.
maybe
during
it's
a
night
work
watch
day.
woman. It's like a gatekeeper, a groundskeeper that he's sleeping with, a female groundskeeper.
Neighborhood watch
Wait, and
woman.
let's talk about when she was like, I couldn't get in touch with my husband. My nanny's disappeared. My dad is sick. My vagina's broken, and I can't get in touch with my husband. It was like,
That was a genuine litany of upset moments.
yeah.
But I will say very, very real, but very sad to hear, very hard to hear. And I noticed she did not put out a nosh for Dorinda.
She
There was
did.
no-
Yes, she
She
did.
put
Yes,
out
she
a
did.
very small, and I'm telling you, like muffin size mac and cheese.
I thought they were
Does that
nuggets.
count as a
I thought
nosh?
it was like 20 chicken nuggets.
Maybe it was goldfish.
Yeah, it was something strange.
Okay, you know what? Retracted, everyone.
No, but you're right because
doesn't
normally
really
she's
put
putting
out
out her spread.
She's always putting out a spread, which is sort of another sign of I want to make sure everyone's eating.
Yeah.
I just also, before we move on in any way, like the wall of Dorinda's necklaces in the flashback. That was so upsetting. Just like a wall of statement jewelry. It was
Really.
if you melted all of that down, it would be worth $5.
You're being kind.
John's like, baby girl, let me unload all that for you.
I wash necklaces and clean them too.
Let's attach him and make it a shirt.
I can get a stain out of any of these necklaces.
John's like, I got a business. I go around to dentists. I get their old gold from teeth and I sell it.
I make it into a silver shirt.
We're doing John as like Luanne, and
know.
I love it.
Our impressions are not
I
perfect.
feel strongly, and this might be too graphic for our listeners, so whatever.
I guarantee it's not.
I feel strongly that he sweats onto Dorinda during sex.
Oh, definitely.
absolutely
His
does.
back is. Casey made mention of wet tufts. A few episodes back.
what? I'm sorry.
Wet tufts. No,
Wet tufts. Oh,
Tufts.
yes, tufts.
Glistening
His
tufts.
pubic hair is
Yes.
glistening.
Glistening
And so-
tufts, and I believe that is true.
And I feel this way about Joe Giudice. I don't know how you say his name. And
Giudice.
I feel like John, the cleaner guy, and
Yeah.
Joe, they're of the same ilk where I feel like, and I say this with some of the respect in the world, that they're human, but there's a version of them that's borderline kind of monsterish, like sexually.
Yeah.
A sexual
It
monster.
to me would be monster sex.
I feel like, and again, I don't say this is abusive. I think this is the way he and Teresa are having sex and like loving it. Like he's sweating all over. And he just like takes a vase and like breaks it over her head while he's fucking her from behind. And she's like, yeah.
little monsterish.
I hear that.
Monsterish.
I hear it. I hear.
I look at John. What's his last name again? The dry cleaner.
No, I want to say.
Dorinda's John.
It hasn't
I
stuck
want
with
to say Madame Paulette.
I want to say Van Velzer, but that's not right either.
And John's been suspiciously absent from
Yes.
since the bra party episode. And
Yeah. No, since the
Well, that whole
since
thing. I'm just gonna say when when Sonia tried to dye her dog hot pink and dyed him an orange, the shade of like. What's the the bank that's got the orange logo?
Wells Fargo?
No,
My bank.
God, what bank is it? Sorry, guys. Oh, no. Okay,
Now
things
I'm
are
thinking
starting
about
to get a
this
little like wonky for me because now I'm like, it's a mutual fund. Who knows?
Okay.
But
Anyway, to dye that dog orange.
unfair, a little. I'm not into the dyeing of the dogs.
No.
But
I'm not either.
wait, what were we saying about John?
But something about John and the color of the dog.
You know, I was just really just moving on with no transition to the fact that the dog was orange.
Yeah.
Upsetting.
I mean,
It was a not great episode, but
we met Kevin and Bethany, and my question is, why aren't they dating?
Kevin and
Kevin seems like the only true wonderful person. Like, granted, he's on her payroll, so who knows?
He is her
but
driver, just to
he
be
is
super
her
clear.
driver, but at the same time, she's like, I know Kevin knows everything about me, and my question back is, but do you know anything about Kevin?
Yeah. Does
And
she
then
even
Casey
know his last
pointed
name?
out,
We need to talk about Kevin. Guys, that's New York. I mean, should we?
New
We
York.
are.
let's go to OC. I know that you.
We've got OC and then a quick little Southern Charm wrap
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
I have some OC theories. But go. You
I
guys
mean,
start.
I have
I
just
shared mine.
You shared yours, and they, despite you being drugged out, they were, again, as I said, concise to the point. I will say one statement, and I stand behind this, and I think June Diane will disagree with me, but Vicky doesn't get to move on until she admits she lied. And I wrote that down in like fury last night because she's like, I just want to move past this. I just want to move on. But she doesn't, she's not admitting anything. And it's admission. She did do wrong. There is no moving past what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she knows what she did.
last summer.
What did she do?
She lied
Mm-hmm.
for Brooks and made up lies to say that he had cancer. When she said that she had called Heather and Terry over and that they had given him, a
IV.
God,
We've
guys,
all
my
lost
words.
language.
We have.
We have.
Locked in
Yeah.
syndrome.
And when that was a lie, and when she would be like, "Oh, I've seen this file," like those are all lies.
Yes.
And so I don't know what she believed. I don't know what she didn't, but she must have known something was not true because if she really thought, she was just like, he's keeping it really personal. He wants to keep it private. I'm letting him keep that way. But to say lies, to make up lies, you know something's not right, and you know that he's lying.
Well, that's classic Vicky. She always wants to bulldoze through everything. No, she doesn't want to have that moment of like that uncomfortable moment of just truth and then move on.
Yes.
And then for Gina to say, like, you guys are all being really mean to her. You're not talking to her. It's like, she did something
She's
so heinous.
low.
It's not just like us being mean girls.
And Gina used to be my favorite housewife in the beginning.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
I don't know who she sides with. She always sides with the wrong side.
Yeah,
of
she
the
always
party.
picks the wrong
Siding
horse.
with Simon, with Tamara. Like, she has terrible taste in like what's right and wrong. And yet to treat them as if they're mean, they are mean girls. Like, that's another story. But she did something unspeakable. And won't admit it. And when she admits it, they can start to move on and start to heal. But until she does that, they can't. And
Amen.
And you know, she said that she went. Did she say she went to Brooks to chemo
Yeah,
once? Or
but
that's a
yeah.
lie. And you know, I don't know where I just heard this recently. It may have been on the OJ documentary. I don't know. But someone said the best defense is the truth. And it's like, if she has nothing to lie about, if her slate's clean, then just be on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
And even if your slate is not clean, the truth will set you free.
yeah, thank you.
guys, I feel so.
No, but just
free.
to say, like, yes, I lied. This is so horrible what I did, and I throw myself at your feet.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I can't say that
believe
you're
we're
the
talking about this
victim.
so seriously.
I know.
But it is kind of
It is kind of serious
Like,
because she's saying that she's the victim, and she was the victim until she started lying, and then she's not the victim anymore.
And now, especially since her whole storyline, like you guys mentioned last week, like it was like cut, like split screen, upbeat, cut to like sad Vicky doesn't have a boyfriend anymore. It's like she seems more upset that she's alone than she does about the fact that she lied. And that she was
Someone
a co-conspirator. in this.
100%. And someone was saying to me, like, and I was reading, Brooks and Vicky are still talking on the phone all the time. They will be back together
Yes,
soon.
I agree.
Tamara said that on Watch What Happens Live the other day.
And when I was just citing a friend, that was apparently Tamara. I was like, was it June? Was it Matt? Was it Danielle? Like, some friend.
Tamara, your good friend Tamara.
Guess what?
Barbie.
It was my friend.
The friend in my head.
Yeah.
Guys, a high point of this story for me, and no sweeter love language language has ever been spoken than Shannon and David Beador talking about pooping on Valentine's Day.
45 minutes on the toilet.
I was like, this is the sweetest love language I've ever heard.
And I'm steering us off of that because I don't like the scatological, despite the story I told weeks ago.
Yes.
But the fact that he gave her that necklace, but she was like very funny about it.
Yes, they are the best couple ever now.
Do you know, I felt strongly that there was a callback to that necklace in the Kelly Vicky scene at the restaurant. I felt like if you go back and look at it, it looks like Vicky's wearing the necklace that David gave Shannon. I'm not even kidding. It looks like the same necklace.
Wow.
It must be the fashion.
It's the thing.
In the OC.
On a sad note, Sarah and Ryan are already separated?
Well,
of course they are.
What happens starts with Instagram will
Ends
end
with
Instagram. I mean,
So
beware the
funny,
way a
Robin.
relationship starts, you guys. And
Wow.
when they I have been rooting for this kid for close to 10 years now.
You have.
And he keeps fucking up. Like, he needs some tough love, and Tamara will not give it to him.
Now, how did he wriggle into your heart?
He didn't wriggle. Here's the thing. No one wriggles into my heart.
I never let him in.
Even a canoeist in a
If he canoed with me, if we did some portage, which is putting the canoe over your head, that's what it's called.
Wow.
But he, you know what? I don't have a soft spot for him other than he's just like a giant fuck up who, like, you keep rooting, like maybe one day something will click. And now he's like, he went from being a teenager to being in his 20s. And remember at one point he was going to be a police officer.
I remember it
And then he
all.
got into like a million car accidents and was shuffling parts at the BMW store.
No.
And now
I
it's
always
just-
wanted the best for him, as I
Yes.
do all kids
I
always.
want a child to succeed.
Yes.
I want
That's
a
where I'm
child
coming
to
from.
succeed.
He never made it into
But
my
he's
heart.
now an adult, and his
again.
energy to me is so dangerous and
Yes.
sour, and I'm scared of it.
The crazier he gets and the more kind of like off he gets, the bigger his beard gets.
Yes.
And I wonder if his lip
Yes.
tattoo is
I
stretching.
was just going to bring that up. How is that faring? That was when Tamara had her moment of like, I'm a terrible mom if I had a kid who got a lip tattoo.
It's such a. I don't
And
know
Eddie
what
is
it
trying to like teach Tamara, like, you have got to get this kid in line. I do feel like Eddie is good for Tamara.
But Tamara made a strange comment in the testimonial that Eddie was adopted, so he doesn't understand what it's like to have a family that you do things for. Do you remember? I have it in the notes.
And I want to say, like, Eddie's so much more well-adjusted.
Yeah.
He's got an incredible cover for his laptop. We know that. Have you
And
noticed?
a cover for his
He has
sexuality.
never met a shirt without sleeves that he didn't want to put his body into.
Can I just mention something about Dr. Terry Dubrow?
Please.
It came early in the episode, but so they had the yacht party in the first episode, and then the second episode sort of opens with the Dubrows packing and getting ready, and Terry's like laying on a chair going, I'm so tired. We had the yacht party went till midnight, and then I got up at 4 to do surgery, and that's when I pause and I say, are there no regulations
Thought the
for
same thing.
surgeons?
As someone who's just woken up
Yeah.
from surgery.
Yes.
I hope my dentist wasn't filming a fucking reality show at 4 a.m.
That's my problem.
Here was my problem with Terry when he was like,
You have no qualms about his medical practices.
no.
It should be
I feel
regulated.
like, guess what? You know what? We're all just trying to get by.
Is he going to have to unbotch one of his own botches, though? Like, he's going to botch something on no sleep.
That's a new show for Terry.
I will
Unbotch.
say he's so fame hungry. That
He's
it's
such a
like,
fucking
how
whore.
much money do you fucking need, Terry Dubrow? That like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like, how much money do you
I wrote
need
down
that
a
you
quote when they were like cheersing with champagne.
Yeah.
It really made me sick after I saw again. I won't get into it again. The like white gloved butler on the beach serving their
Ainsworth.
children.
His name was Ainsworth.
So disgusting. They're just such pieces of shit.
By the way,
Yeah.
that was a Sandals property. I did some research.
Oh, I could tell.
I knew.
No
And that's
doubt.
what, no diggity, no doubt, Mills. By the way, I was like, this place looks like garbage.
I know. I was like,
This is before the butler came out. And then I'm like, first of all, you're not even selling me on the butler because it's just gross to have like someone in that heat wearing like gloves and serving you.
and serving your children.
I mean,
the day a butler in white gloves serves your children, you are doing it wrong.
And then they're
in with
cheersing
yourself.
themselves later. And he's like, are you excited for the house? And Heather's like, I am, because like we just don't have room to, I'm excited to gather as a family. We don't have room in the rental to gather as a family. The rental's like 70,000 square feet. And I just think, this is my one thing. A lot of listeners have tweeted me like, you'll love Heather's podcast. Guess what? I don't want to love it. She's so out of touch. And I do believe of everyone there, she's the most normal.
Yeah.
And I feel a simpatico with her actress to actress. But other than that, I'm like, she's so out of touch.
But Terry's out of touch because he's exhausted. He doesn't have enough time to see his family.
Right.
And
he doesn't
yet
want
they
to.
have
Doesn't
so
want
much
to.
money. How much do you need?
Right.
Stop working those hours. Stop your 3 reality shows. Get back in touch. You are not starving. You have millions and millions to create bigger and bigger homes with which less time to see anyone you love.
And are people watching Botched?
Yes.
Oh,
I know
okay.
people who watch Botch. I'll also say this home thing with the Dubrows has been this 3-season long arc, right?
Yes.
And I feel like my question is like, are they one of those couples that are project-based couples? So like, what's going to happen when the house is done?
Like War of the
Are
Roses?
they going to, are they going to tear it down again just to have something to do?
Heather's gonna
and
be like,
complain about?
I want to get those messages we kept in a bottle under the floorboards, and they have
Pull
to.
them up.
He's like, get the
We have
wrecking
to-
ball.
We have to destroy the house to get the
I
bottles.
feel like
He's
that
like, much like
house-
the titties I destroy.
They're gonna move they're gonna move into that house and be like, one night wake up and be like, we're good, let's tear it down.
Wow, project-based couples.
I've never
I'm
even thought of
obsessed
that,
with
but
project-based couples. I feel right before my parents got divorced, they like added like a full on like bay window and walk-in closets, and I was like, what? Why
Like
are
when
you
someone
doing
gets a
this?
drastic haircut, I just go, what's wrong?
Yeah. Guys, I want to talk about something, and that is the Coto insurance meeting.
Danielle, we don't have a lot of time, and I was like, you know what? I want to talk about Tara and her husband and the crazy comments she made at the end, but to me, that's run of the mill. We've seen that.
Pizza party of all time.
I
and
wrote
why did
about
they need
it.
a microphone in that small room, like a head, like in Rent, like just like a Rent mic,
Yes.
musical Rent, like
I love
in that tiny gathering space. Everyone has a microphone. Like it made me so sad.
So upsetting.
Did
Vicky
you
at the
see
Chamber
Vicky's
of Commerce.
face?
Enough Chamber of Commerce things with Kyle and her.
Do you think wearing the name tag that says Victoria Gunvalson, do you think that do you notice she was wearing a name tag that said her name as if everybody there wouldn't know who she already was?
And they were so deferential to her, like, and let's take time to hear from our gorgeous speaker.
Yeah.
It was like 5 people there in the middle of the day. And I do feel with these shows, like, enough. I want to see men, money, like, not midday, like full tilt sunlight in a conference room, an insurance conference.
This is anywhere. This is not what I'm watching for. Like it really gave me like when I was younger, I used to do these things called industrials where I'd have to like go to like medical conferences and like play like Wayne and Garth from like Wayne's World, like and like to sell their stupid like weird product and boardrooms full of people that did not want to be there, and like that was this. Like this is not fantasy for me.
No.
Like, why am I watching this?
No.
There was no joy.
It did make me laugh when Vicky went to lunch with, what's her
Kelly.
name? Kelly's so already fired to me that I can't even like keep her in my
one and
brain.
done.
Yeah, one and done. You know it the minute they come in.
It's just a thing now. You can
sniff
spot
it on
them.
them.
And what's her name's done too?
Jules.
No. Married to the baseball player.
Catherine on
No.
Beverly
Oh.
Hills.
No. Oh, Megan.
Megan King Edmonds is done. She's 2 and through.
Really?
Yeah, 2 and
I think
through.
so, yeah.
1 and done.
She
2
is.
and through.
I agree with what you said last week, Danielle. She is looking a lot softer this season.
Yeah, but I think that that's not going to help her stay on the show.
Her lips have thinned out.
Do you think it's because she's smelling so many candles that her husband's making?
That candle making.
She's
business.
ironing so much and smelling so much. How about that weird moment where she was just ironing and she was like, "Ah!"
How about that moment where Kelly was working with the heavy machinery and it almost looked like she was going to cut her leg off. She was plowing into the wall when they were destroying the wall.
And I love when Kelly says, that's her name, right? Kelly.
Yes.
And this sounds like I'm being judgmental of other moms, but you just don't often hear a mom be like, hey, let's face it, I'm a fucking great mom. I'm like, wow. Like, that's wonderful, but it's just so it's different. Like, everyone's like, very like, I hope I'm doing the best and I think I'm trying my best and all that. And I want people to think they're a great mom, but she's just so like, I know what I'm good at. And it's being a mom.
Wow. Yeah,
Even though I was divorced from her dad, engaged to somebody else, and then got back together with her dad again. It has nothing to do with her
when
mothering
I got divorced.
skills.
Oh, you've been married before? Oh, no. From my husband.
She was basically like, well, he wouldn't give me money when I left, so
It
gotta.
seems to
That
me like
was sad.
the OC seems like this zoo that everyone's trying to like stay in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's like a leapfrog magnet.
What was that?
What?
And why did we care about his sign?
I don't know.
Am I confusing shows now?
No, you're right.
Okay.
Astrological something?
Yeah, when they're like, what is it? Oh, when she and Vicky were at lunch together.
The most boring lunch.
Although
ever.
it did make me laugh so hard when Vicky said so seriously, she goes, do you like to have fun? You like to whoop it up? And then she's like, I've got whoop it up rated R.
And then her testimonial, she's a whoop it up girl.
That's what the anesthesiologist should have said to me, like, oh, she's obviously a whoop it up girl.
Then you would have taken to it more kindly.
Guys, we've got something charm, but we're at our end.
We'll just say Catherine's outfit was something to lay eyes on.
Honestly, let's have a moment of silence. Thank you.
I'd like to also, before we leave and before we thank our wonderful guests, I'd like to give a shout out to our Facebook group. They've started a Bitch Sesh Facebook group.
Wow, that's awesome.
And that's been exciting. So thanks,
So
guys.
exciting.
And then also, we do have a live show coming up.
Which
very
I
soon.
believe tickets, I know people have been asking, are going to go on sale very soon.
Yes, and we'll alert everyone. We'll send out it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat. But it's going to be on Wednesday, July 27th at 8 p.m. at Largo in Los Angeles.
We have a very special guest booked.
I'm so excited. We'll
tell you
announce soon.
And so many fans have tweeted me about the new Whispering Angel gummy bears.
Guys, we got to get our
I haven't gotten my chompers on them.
Sugar Fina, who is doing them, is like, sorry, we don't have enough. We can't keep them in stock.
Do they have rosé inside of them?
Yeah, apparently.
I
a
did not know
Whispering
this.
Angel rosé.
Is this why I have so many root canals?
Robin.
What?
Thank you.
Oh, you guys, I get to be in the nook where it happens.
From
In
banana
the nook
bread.
where it happens. The nook where it happens. The nook where it happens.
Thank you so much for having me. This is like
This has been a dream.
real. I love the show so much. So thank you.
Even though I'm going to Hawaii, I want you guys to know I feel like I'm already there. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Robin Shorr.
Thank you, Robin. Thank
and
you,
thank you,
April, as always.
Thank you, Luz, who mixes our show. And thank you, Earwolf.
And thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Danielle.
Good night and good day.
And good luck.
As George Clooney said
As a newsman.
journalist.
Oh, my God.
On Ron and Beverly, we love to ask our guests difficult questions.
Can I ask you a question about the N-word?
Sure.
Offensive? Were you the cutest baby that's ever been born?
I know you were. Pat Jewish?
First of all, yeah, are you?
I am not.
Not at all? Have you done your DNA with Ancestry.com?
Yeah,
I haven't done the DNA.
Why haven't you done that?
Is it derogatory to call you a Kiwi?
Your face is like a baby face.
If Kid and Play had a baby together, that would be you.
Do you mind if I make a quick phone call?
Okay.
That's so cute.
My! Did you get a nose strip?
What about your great-grandparents? Were they slave owners? They must have been. Oh, your poor mother.
Listen to Rana,
And Beverly today on
earwolf.com,
Howl.
or your favorite podcast app.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Ackerman, Adam Sachs, and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.